Looking for a unique paranormal experience? The Haunted Rock Island YMCA Paracon, October 7th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is just the event you're looking for. You will have the opportunity to investigate the Haunted Rock Island YMCA with ACG Paranormal. Visit with over 60 paranormal and metaphysical vendors from 8 or more states. And pre-order your t-shirts at dvinar@aol.com. Visit a psychic gallery reading, mediums, tea leaf reading, animal communication, dream interpretation, aura reading, tarot and oracle card readings, or get a Reiki healing. See a demonstration of the Estes method by Carly Bird. Presentations by Nick Simons and Aaron G. Thompson of 28 Days Haunted, Greg Bakken from Ghostbox Radio, and headliner Rick Hayes, along with many folks you'll see on Paraflix. Be sure to like and follow our sponsors: Paraflix, WLTK DB Talk Radio LLC, Studio 6 Productions, Unturned Pages, and Ocean Eye Crystals. General admission is only $5, and all proceeds go directly to the Haunted Rock Island YMCA. For more information on the Haunted Rock Island YMCA Paracon and vendors, look for them on Facebook under Events.
Welcome to another week of Unturned Pages. We're here. Russ is somewhat here with us.
I'm upright. That's about as much as I can give you right now at this point.
Well, that's better than you passed out on your couch or something, so I guess that's good.
Well, if you see me doing this, it's not because I'm drunk. I'm tired.
Yes. So. Crazy work schedule, but we are back for another week. This week we have Paige from Expedition Entity, one of our sponsors, one of my good friends of the paranormal. So I'm super excited. She just joined Expedition Entity this past summer, so I'm super excited to have her on. I will officially meet her, I think, next week, in 2 weeks at Great Lakes, so I'm super excited. So let's bring her on. Hello.
Hello. Hi,
How
guys.
are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we could make it work. Oh, look, the boss man's in.
The boss man. As
The
you were
man
talking
behind the camera.
I'm so lucky. They're such a good group to work for.
Yeah. I love Larry and Dan and
Well, I think Paraflix needs to make their more way out to the East Coast. I got some good locations out here.
Yeah.
Let me hop in the car with Larry and Dan and Paige and everyone, and we'll just come up and do it.
Totally. I
got a place that offers overnights, so you can sleep there as well.
Dan's
Like, mattress. That's the only thing I'm telling you.
Dan's like he's not the boss man.
You know, they're a fun couple to work with.
Oh,
Larry, I can tell you what.
Couple to work with.
Larry, I can tell you what. After taking over the position of boss, I don't like being called boss.
Heavy lies the crown sometimes.
Correct. Because I no longer have the ability to be like, oh, no, it's not my fault.
We're deleting that comment. We're not talking about that one. Okay. Fun comment in the chat, but
I just saw that.
So,
yeah.
Paige, tell us about yourself. How did you start in the paranormal and all that fun jazz?
Sure. So I started having an interest for it, I think, ever since I could remember, and was a little, hey, Bill.
Straight came with the Ned Flanders greeting.
I did. I haven't met Bill yet in person either, and now I just have like a Simpsons character in my head. Sorry.
Well, he should be at Rock Island, I think, is what I was told. But
good deal. We're gonna remedy that. We're gonna meet.
he made me now call him Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill. So
You have a lot of uncles.
I do. Uncle Johnny Zappas. Yeah.
It's a lot of family.
Yes.
So I was a little girl, and I think I started just having some strange encounters of deceased relatives, and my mom would talk just casually to, like, oh, I saw your uncle, who had been dead in a car crash, for a decade or two, and so it just kind of was always there, I guess, that interest. And then and then I lost it a little bit. I lost it for after, I think, you're a child and your mind is
Yep.
open, and I did. And I married somebody who really, well, let me back up. Growing up, I had parents who were, I'm so grateful, we would travel all over, and that would be around the US and Europe. And I can't really say that I've been to Rome or Paris. I wish, we just kind of never went to the bigger cities as much. My dad was off the beaten track or off the beaten path. And it was the coolest experience, because we would end up in these, ghost houses in the Black Forest in Germany, and these 200-year-old places, and just that you probably maybe you would know about now with all the technology, but back then it was really neat. And I just was really, I guess, immersed in that culture. And so my dad was also a military, West Point graduate, and an Army vet, and so the military history was always there. And I've always loved the history. But then going to all of these places, it's like there's history here, but there's something else, there's this feeling, and I still get this. It's just the feelings of buildings and picking up on the energy of different places is just undeniable. It just went hand in hand with the history. And so I think I had a passion for that at a young age, and then it kind of drifted off for a little bit. I was married to somebody who said phooey on all that. And
Hey, Jenny, you know what that's like for a certain someone.
yeah. And and I could have kept going with it, and my mom and I watched all the OG shows and stuff, and then I fell off with all that too. And then recently, after getting a divorce, I found myself in a haunted bed and breakfast in Milwaukee.
The Perimeter.
Yes. Have you been?
I haven't been, but I've heard so much good stuff about it.
So good. It's so good in every way. Just if you want a romantic getaway, it's awesome. And so if you're a paranormal couple, it's on your bucket list. You got to put it on there.
I haven't been there yet in person, but I've heard so much good stuff.
Yeah, the hospitality is great. The ghosts and the humans.
It kind of sounds like you kind of almost had the same upbringing as I did, because my mother was Wiccan when I was growing up.
Oh, nice.
My dad was a police officer. So the town I grew up in was a big factory town. And of course, by the mid 80s, early 90s, all these buildings had been vacated and shut down and everything like that. So he was a cop. He was going to all these abandoned buildings and things like that. So when he got into it, he would bring me along sometimes, and we'd walk through these buildings and things like that. And just the history of these buildings. It was just amazing to have that, that insight to it.
Yes, right.
So Larry says, Paige, between Dan and Larry, which is your favorite to work with?
We're not choosing favorites. Come on.
It's just not, that doesn't even compute as a question, because they're so much fun in their own right.
I know, right?
How could you pick? How could you choose?
You can't, really.
There's no sense in even trying.
No.
Bill says Dan, and then Bill says later, But you're a good kid too, Larry, so I can't not say you.
No, I'm gonna have to say right now, I've never met Dan and I've never met Larry, but the dialogue between these two and the interaction in the show here, I think I'm definitely gonna have to meet these two.
Oh yeah, they're so much fun.
Do you think they can handle me, Jenny?
Huh?
I said, do you think they can handle me?
Nope. Absolutely not. I don't know if I can handle you some days.
Wow. Megan, I can always just tell them I don't have to get off work early. I can just stay.
No.
Gotta help you, sir.
Dan says, "God help you, sir."
I really didn't know what I was signing up for when I signed up for what I'm doing.
I know, right? I didn't know what I signed up for when I.
Yeah.
So, Brad had Manor episode, and then that whole episode kind of turned into me and Jenny's show. So,
but that's like the best stuff, right? Like you know, hey, that's
uncut, raw, fun.
Yeah, right.
Everybody sees these TV shows, and that's one of the biggest gripes I have about these TV shows that are out there. And the thing about it is, now that Project Fear has kind of released their own thing, and I will admit this: I grew up on the OG shows. I grew up on the Ghost Hunters International, and sadly to admit, Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody's done it, and you know, it's one of those things where Project Fear now is giving us that insight of actually to how an investigation is. The screwing around, the laughing, the making jokes. Everybody sees these shows and they're like, oh, it's serious 100% of the time. And it's really not.
Right.
Like personal experience. We've been sitting in an empty room before and somebody passed gas and it echoed. And we spent the next 5 minutes just cracking up over it. Like, it's just like, you know, that's the realness of an investigation.
And I think that's why I like Paraflix, and like they allow for that because, you know, and we were recently at Chris Fleming's pop-up Paracon, and
Is that yet?
Oh, in Illinois.
In Woodstock, Illinois. It was amazing. And Dave Schrader was there, and he said something like, yeah, they don't want us. Or maybe not. I don't quote me on who said this. I met so many great people that day, and I'm probably not going to remember any of, of the weekend and 2 weekends either. But you know, that the network or didn't want them to make jokes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, Dave said that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Paige, I'll ask you this: have you ever watched a show on YouTube? It was from BuzzFeed, and it was the God, what was their names? I can't remember. But they did like 3 seasons with BuzzFeed, and then they broke away. And they showed you the real side of investigating. It was 2 guys. One was a skeptic, one was a believer. And have you ever seen the meme? Hey, demons, it's me, your boy.
I don't know. Maybe it sounds familiar.
It's from that show. It's oh God, I'm gonna have to look it up. But continue to discuss amongst yourself real quick.
You have to go look it up.
This is gonna bother me if I don't.
Refer to the Google. I get it. Yeah. It's great though. I think there's a lot of freedom, and Larry and Dan, I mean, you've worked with them too, Jenny. It's like it's so comfortable, and they're so skilled at what they do. And Larry is so patient with me so far with filming, because that's a whole experience. You know, if you've never been behind the camera, you just want to look at him the whole time, and he's like, "Stop looking at me."
Yeah, he's like, avoid the camera. Pretend the camera's not there. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Right.
So it was BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural: 101 True Tales of Hauntings, Demons, and the Paranormal. It was by Shane Mende and Ryan Berga, and they actually broke away from BuzzFeed and created their own network. And they are actually premiering, I believe, this October with a new season on YouTube. But these guys are absolutely great.
Nice. Good. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. On YouTube now? Nice. Nice.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So they're, and I I am the owner of Serafina. Thanks, John. Yeah. So I am also I'm starting off on a new. Oh, sweet.
John, are you going to order for all of us? I'll give you my address.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I'm wearing something Jenny gave me in Gettysburg, so
Yes.
DM me anytime. Yeah, I just started off on a new endeavor. I'm a crystal shop owner, and it's called Serafina Crystals, and it's been going on for a few months now. It's a baby, and it's going great, and it's wonderful because I get to bring all my crystals to with Larry's learning so much about them because I get to bring my crystals with our to promote our show. So it's awesome.
Yay.
Well,
Yeah.
Jenny gave me a surprise box when I saw her in Gettysburg, and I opened it up in my hotel room, and I'm literally looking through it going, what the hell is all this? Like, I'm literally texting her from upstairs in my hotel room, 4 floors away from where she is, going, picture, what is this? Picture, what do I do with this? Picture. Like, I know a little bit about crystals, just enough to get me in trouble, but I'm not one of those ones that I look at a stone and be like, oh, the color is snowflake obsidian. Like,
That's impressive, though.
like I said, enough to get me in trouble.
Yeah, enough to get you in
Okay. Then that's plenty for sure. No, I love it. You haven't found a good place for them yet. Sierra, you know what? I need to maybe discuss that a little bit because, or maybe now is not the time, but I've been thinking about that lately is like placement of crystals, right? Because it's all about their energy. And I was thinking maybe some people don't have any idea where to put them and they end up like in the bottom of a car. I keep mine in my car, but I've got it dangling. And so, there's different rocks for different purposes. There's
and also depends on the intentions as well.
It's to me, it's all about the intentions. And like, yes, there's so much in these beautiful rocks. There's so much data stored and energy stored, but again, like somebody can just kind of like throw them off to the side. You put an intention on that baby.
Every day I wear a St. Michael and a St. Benedict.
Nice.
And I always say to anybody, anyone who wears a medallion, anybody that carries crystals on them, it only goes as far as you believe in it.
Yes.
Definitely.
That's the same. And, that's kind of one thing I'm like pondering in life lately. It's like, isn't that the truth about everything, right?
Yeah.
It is so important to put intentions on so much that we believe in and to really believe in it.
And there's one thing I've always learned is if you put it out to the universe, it always comes back to you.
That's right.
If you manifest it, it will happen.
That's right. I'm right there with you. And I think thoughts are really powerful. And so that's what Dan says. Yes,
at least it's not that's what she says.
Yeah. I had to read that like 3 times. I was like, is there an underlying joke there?
All right.
But yes, that is what Dan says too. And it's powerful. I mean, that's why I teach my kids. It's like even those thoughts that you have are so powerful. And I do believe that those go out to the universe. And hey, if we believe those, like our brain's trying to lie to us all the time. And we just gotta,
You have a shitty thought in the morning about work, you're gonna go into work and you're gonna have a shitty day at work.
Absolutely.
You make the best of every day. Then as I always tell people that, come into my store, they ask how I'm doing. And I said, hey, any day 6 feet above is better than 6 feet under.
That's right.
That's so right.
There's always something to be grateful for.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing. People, I think, have lost focus about what to be grateful for.
Right.
People focus more on the materialistic things than they actually do breathing, food, a roof over their head.
Mm-hmm.
Health of their children, health of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. I've really, that's the thing. It's like I've been trying to put some, like, what is my relationship with money? Like, that's what it's been lately. And my tarot cards have been screaming at me to like, figure that out. Like, look at that relationship with money and what is money and wealth to you? And to be honest, it's not the money. It is the freaking time that inspires me with my children and my loved ones.
Can't
And the
take it with you.
experiences you get to do with it.
Right. But like you like you said, we get so caught up in so much of the material things sometimes. I know I'm guilty of it.
Oh, Bill's leaving us.
Bill's leaving.
Aw. Bye, Bill. Thanks
Bye,
for
Bill.
stopping in. I can't wait to meet you.
Can't wait to see him on October 7th. If not before then.
So how many episodes of Expedition Entity have you done?
So great question. So like Jenny said, I just was brought on this summer.
Okay.
And so I am, on top of being the paranormal investigator, I'm the historian for the show, which I love. And we haven't started season 4 yet. So I'm going to be a part of season 4. Right now, season 3 is wrapping up. There's a really great episode coming out for HalloFlix, #HalloFlix. I'm still getting used to that and can't wait. Bring on October. No, I know, Russ. I'm sorry. You have to take one for the team.
On Monday nights, if you see me with my eyes swelled up and tears running down my face, I just got off work.
Oh, I know. Gosh. It's got it. But you're doing so much. You're putting so much good into the world.
So what got you into crystals in the beginning?
So so sorry, I'm all over the place.
That's normal for our show.
Oh, good.
To answer that, I just got to make one comment. Jenny, you kind of look like you're on an episode of like Undercover Boss, like blurring out your face half the time, and like it's like, can we just get like a voice changer on you, and it'd be perfect.
Oh my god, this is what I have to deal with.
You love it, and you wouldn't have it any other way.
Here's my ADHD brain, but like earlier today, my boys and I watched this SNL skit. Did you ever see the one of the Kylo Ren Undercover Boss?
Mm-hmm.
That one, I'm like, that one just doesn't get old, and we hadn't watched it in a couple of years. So,
well, just get ready. You're 2 weeks away from the Tom Hanks SNL skit of him being what was it, Mr. Pumpkin or whatever. What they're like, I can't remember the one. God, what do they call him? He was wearing like the pumpkin suit and like he was in the elevator and like singing to everybody. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay.
I will have to look it up and I'll tell you what it is. But go ahead and answer Jenny's question about how you got into crystals.
So how I got into crystals, that was probably again really heavily like about 5 years ago. And just I loved, like, I would just get little ones here and there, and I would just love how, they made me feel and the different energy that they put out. And it just was a nice coping mechanism for me, like just one other tool that I could grab. And it helps. Meditation over the years has been tricky, like I've learned how to meditate over the years and I can do it pretty well, but crystals have really helped me with that too. So for me, I've been sober from alcohol for like over 6 years now. And so to me, finding healthy ways to cope with stress and anxiety is everything. And so crystals are such a good way to do that. For me, instead of grabbing like a drink, it's like, okay, I can grab a crystal to calm me down, or a crystal to, I can grab some moss agate to look into and stare at and feel creative, get motivated. There's some clear quartz here that can help me feel inspired, or to amplify another crystal that's really giving me some healing benefits. So to me, it's just really helped me, I've had a big spiritual journey since I got sober, and they've been a big part of it, just like the paranormal. They go hand in hand. And definitely. So on that note, one of the big, like a lot of the people that I sell crystals to are in the spiritual paranormal community. Yep. you know, they go hand in hand, and there's many protective crystals too that, like I said, I put in my car, or I'll make sure that I take with me on investigations. You can clear the energy of places with crystals, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's so many great ones.
Now, do you feel taking a crystal with you on an investigation, is it just self-absorbent, I guess you could say, or is it more of a you're going in with a group of like say 5 people? Now, is that crystal going to affect the rest of the people, or is it just going to affect you because it was your intention?
Right. And I think what that's exactly it. It's whatever intention I put on it. And so a lot of times I'll say something like, for the protection of the greater good, or for the collective, or something like that when I go with a group. Another time I might use that same crystal though and put it in front of my, like in my doorway, in my front foyer. And then it's protective over my house. So it's like saying, okay, that's going to protect my space rather than a group of people. So it just kind of depends on the intention that I put upon it. But I do believe that they also, if it's used for that, for any type of intention like that, it's going to help.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, did you believe that, like, is that a hindrance to the investigation?
I don't think so. No. So for me, it's like I want to allow any spirit that wants to come forth, except for, and this is, I think, just like, we're not a team that antagonizes negative spirits like certain people, right? And so we're not trying to draw forth those negative entities. We don't want any of that. We want respect both ways. And so I think it kind of helps with that in that sense, like watch over us. There's a lot of stuff that's out of our control in the paranormal community. So a general, like, watch over us. Dan has his own things. He's given us things that we take. So I don't think it's a hindrance. I don't think so, no. Okay. I think these spirits have their own energy, and just like, like a Ouija board, right? Like I have certain rituals that, like, okay, now the spirits stay here. We are closing this. In my head, it's like a bubble, right? Like I close the bubble in my head. It's a protective bubble. My crystals help me with that. Other people might use other things to help them personally.
Once again, all leading back to intention.
Definitely.
Right, absolutely.
John asked, is Halloween your favorite holiday, or do you like Easter or Labor Day, or, like...
What is your favorite holiday?
Passover. I don't know. There's so many out there. Flag Day.
It's gonna have to be Halloween. It's just gonna have to be. Who is John Smith?
I don't know.
I even know.
Am I in a relationship with my significant? No, I am not in a relationship. And yeah, that's it.
So are you going to start incorporating crystals into Expedition Entity in season 4?
I haven't thought about, I have thought about it, but I haven't quite figured it out yet. There's been a little bit of talk, like there's pendant work that I can do, and there's certain, actually, yeah, I've got a couple of good ideas.
Okay, so I'm going to TM this right now. So for one of the episodes, I think you should bring a box of crystals.
Yes.
And have everybody pick out a crystal to take with them on an investigation. And you explain to them what that crystal does and how to put their intentions into it.
Yes.
An Expedition Entity special episode.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a lot of fun to take them to, the para conferences for sure, and that's one thing I think we're gearing toward is like, how could we put crystals on the show, and then hey, this is this is the crystal that we used for this investigation.
Hey, you want to communicate more with the spirit? Use this crystal. Hey, you want more protection? Use this crystal. You want,
Nick, I am the crystal queen. Yes, like amethyst.
I feel like you and me could do an episode for Expedition Editing with crystals.
I can't even remember what this one was, Jenny. I have it around here somewhere, but
It's not snowflake obsidian.
Is it?
I don't think
I don't know,
so.
but I'm getting itchy and I'm irritated at you. I'm kidding.
Is it black? Is it? Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
I can't remember what.
Awesome. Nick
What I
Simon,
gave you.
Netflix, 28 Days.
Yeah, snowflake obsidian.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's very protective. Obsidian.
I need it.
When what?
I said I need it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, the more things that you can put your positive intentions on and have that radiate out.
But the last 9 months of my life has been an absolute disaster, and Jenny's been there with me through it.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to her almost every day about it and everything, and it's kind of funny because as soon as I got these crystals from Jenny and everything, and I actually started wearing them, everything's just complete 180.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I love hearing this.
I intuitively picked, and I knew what you needed.
We went to Gettysburg in July. In August, I did an interview with Spirit, and things didn't work out with Spirit. I left Spirit, and then in the end of September, at the end of August, they offered me with a higher position with higher pay.
Nice.
So, and I've actually been wearing this since then. So
don't take it off. No,
I'm not going to. I mean, only when I sleep because I don't want to strangle myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Take it off to be safe, and then you can always charge it too.
Yep.
So
I tell them every time, full moon, go put your.
I always do. Trust me, I'm right on point with that.
Good. Good.
So, Paige, now that you're in like the crystal thing, have you thought about becoming like a Reiki master and incorporating that into the crystals?
I would love to. Yes, and I feel like that's something that would lend itself well because I do have these innate intuitive abilities as well, and so I can kind of just feel the energy of people. Whatever.
Okay, so now October 7th, that gives me an idea. I have to pressure him into some sales at my booth too. Got it. Nick, you're in trouble now.
Nick, this one is.
You were buying an unpaid, or you're an Unturned Pages t-shirt. You're buying an Unturned Pages tumbler cup. You're buying a keychain. You're buying a coffee cup.
Oh my God! Look at that crystal.
This one's Nick's. Nick, you heard it here first, so I don't have to do that again to you.
For the special price of $1,300.
I was gonna say like $300.
Hey, supply and demand.
We'll have to price this later. This one is so heavy. I'm scared I'm gonna drop it.
Nick, that's what I always tell her too.
This one actually, no, I got a really good price.
Nick, I'll respond to that in October. I'll respond to that comment in October when I see you.
Dude, don't underestimate her. Don't underestimate her. She's got me for backup, first of all. I'm 5'4".
Nick,
we'll just do chicken.
I will warn you, Nick, her shin kicks hurt.
Oh,
and yes, is the first hand.
Well, I'm a Reiki master, so technically I could teach it. I just have to figure stuff out
on
that end. But I can recommend you to a few people that I trust. Like
Paige and Jenny, I have to address this right now. I'm sorry, John Smith in the room. This is not a dating website. This is not anything like that. This is an actual paranormal and metaphysical radio show. If that's what you're here to do, you can please just see yourself out right now. If not, you will be removed from the room. Thank you.
I'm glad I didn't see any of that. I just see Nick. Rock King will be waiting for me in the parking lot.
Oh boy, that's what we are. Me and Paige, the Rock Gang.
And I'm sorry I had to say that, and I'm sorry anybody that's listening right now.
Thank you.
I do not stand for that. I do not.
Yeah, it's for
I
sure.
really do not tolerate that at all. And that is not something that's going to happen on this show or any show ever. And I do not want anyone to ever feel uncomfortable. This is a show that is all about the metaphysical, the paranormal, everything. And the people out there that are listening, we appreciate your support. We have these randoms that come in, and I appreciate you coming in and listening to give us the views. But your comments are starting to piss me off.
And we don't want that.
No.
Oh, I'm Irish and German. Trust me, you do not want to piss me off.
No. But yeah, I can recommend you to a few people that I know that teach Reiki. You're in.
Can I do it now? Can I do
Are
it
you
now?
in Wisconsin or Illinois?
Let's see. I am in where am I? I'm like, where am I right now? I'm in Chicago. Yeah. And like there's so many online, probably courses too.
Yeah. Well, I always recommend with Reiki, you do it in person.
Oh, that's true. Oh my gosh, it's Reiki. Heck yeah.
I've done one Reiki class over Zoom, but that was after I got my Reiki master.
Right.
So it's not the same. But the attunement and stuff you have to do in person. It's not the same over Zoom and stuff.
Totally.
But there's a few people there's a couple people near Broadhead that teaches it, and I would recommend them to you, or a few people I know in Illinois that I can probably teach you to if you're really interested.
How long have you been doing that?
I want to say I've been doing it 3 years now.
That's great. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to pick your brain more about it.
Yeah. And October 7th, we're bringing the aura machine so we could do aura photos. So that's really fun.
That's one of the things I'm looking forward to most. I think I commented on your page. I was like, aura photos.
And I can always do Reiki sessions too.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Paige, now if you're only in Chicago,
yeah,
that means next year you should really come to the Battlefield Bash.
Yes.
Where is this?
Gettysburg.
July 26th to the 28th, something like that.
It is one of the biggest events on the East Coast. It supports terminally ill children as well as wounded warriors of PA.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. We actually expanded this year from 115 vendors to this coming year 180 vendors. It's $20 for the entire weekend. All proceeds go back to the charities. They do raffles. They do. Jenny, the first year was last year, and she was blown away. I've been all 7 years. I've been there since the inception of it, and it is an event I will never miss. I pay out of my own pocket to go.
Yeah. Okay. Because
Paige, if you come, we can go do Battlefield walk-arounds too.
Yep.
Okay. July 26th through the 28th. I'm not joking around. Gettysburg.
Get on right now. I will send you the link to the hotel block. You can book now, but you do not pay until you check in.
Perfect.
And I promise you, the rooms do sell out quick. Last year, we had 3 entire hotels booked out.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a fun event. Like the weekend this coming next year, the weekend before.
Going into witness protection again.
I don't know why this is doing it. But we're going to hit up Wildwood Sanatorium and Hinsdale. So I'm super excited. And then we're going to go down to the
you should bring out the entire expedition entity team, get a table for the weekend. That would be absolutely amazing. Guys, split a hotel room. Because the hotel they're having it at this year, they've expanded. And there's actually an entire indoor pool area.
Nice.
Indoor. And they're doing all the parties out there.
And they have laser tag.
And laser tag.
They're doing karaoke. They're doing a costume contest.
It's like a bash. It's a big bash.
The theme is Christmas in July.
Even better. It keeps getting better and better.
They urge everybody. There's a charity we support called Diana's Pink Wishes. Mm-hmm. And they urge everybody to bring a gift unwrapped that is $10 or less to the event to donate to this charity, which gives to children and families that are experiencing a cancer diagnosis.
Okay, gotcha.
Last year, we filled a U-Haul and a half full of toys.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. I think we've got a group that's coming
Jenny,
out. Larry's already on it for Expedition.
what was the Jenny? What was the total? You were there longer than I was this past year. What was the total they raised this year? Was it like 23 something?
Yeah, something like that.
Like $23,000 was donated back to these charities.
That's amazing.
And that's for 3 days and only charging $20 a ticket.
That's amazing.
And they do a huge silent auction. That's how I won the Wildwood Sanatorium investigation with Shane Pittman and Josh from Searchers. They donated it and I won it. I'm like, yes. And it supports a good cause, so I'm good with that.
And Pam and Steve Barry are amazing hosts and they're amazing people. So like this past year, we had an escape room. We had the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. We had Batman that actually had a Batmobile. Like it's just a great event. And, you know, Jenny was supposed to come 2 years ago. I had to back out at the last moment, but I've been trying to get her out here. And I think now she sees the importance and how big this event actually is.
So, Russ, is that where you are locally then?
I am not. I'm actually in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I'm in Massachusetts, but I was originally in Ohio, but I didn't do my first bash. The first year was actually the year I moved to Massachusetts, and I knew Pam and Steve for years. And they had asked me to come speak, and I lecture every year. And I came out, and I've been doing it ever since. And that's one event I will never miss because technically that's my vacation for me.
Totally.
Because it's a family reunion. You go and you see these people you don't see in a year, and you get to catch up with them. You get to sit out back, have a couple drinks. For those who do drink, I'm not going to push that on anybody or anything. Everybody has a good time.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
There is everybody. Like, there's something for everyone. We had a bank. We have food trucks. The barbecue food truck is absolutely hands down amazing. You know, they go all out. This year, I hear they're having fireworks.
Nice.
So
that's wonderful. Okay, well, sounds good. I lived in Maryland for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I'm so bad with I don't know how I'm a historian. I can't.
Yeah, I'm terrible with dates too. What part of Maryland? Because I have a near and dear friend that lives in Hagerstown. Okay,
so I was I don't know if you know where Patuxent River Naval Air Station is. Yep. So it's
military veteran.
Yep. Nice. Nice. So, you know, the East Coast has, you know the history. But that was one place I never got to. So I love Maryland. I lived in southern, like rural Maryland, which was wonderful for a few years. And then I was ready to head back to civilization. But so got to see a lot of historic places on the East Coast. But never Gettysburg. Appomattox, got there, got to some other battlefields, some smaller ones, but that's been on my bucket list.
Never been to Gettysburg.
Haunted AF, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, hands down. I mean, the times I've been there, like I said, the first 2 years I went there, I went and investigated because it was my first 2 years there. But like since then, it's been more about being with everybody and connecting with everybody and seeing everybody again, because we have people coming over from the UK, we have people coming from California, we have people coming from Texas, Florida, New Jersey, like they're all over the country. We actually did a graphic this year after the bash, and everybody put in where they're from, and it literally filled everywhere up.
Oh wow.
It was almost all 50 states besides for like Utah and Washington and things like that, but there were a lot of people, West Virginia, Florida, Kentucky. Everywhere.
That's so cool.
You know, so yeah, definitely something to get in on.
Okay. All right. It's on my calendar now. Jenny, this will be fun. Do you guys drive out there? Do you drive, Jenny, or?
I think we're driving. I'm not sure because we're going to New York first to do the 2 nights of investigating, which I'm going to bring Russ with.
Wait, where are you going?
Hidden Still House and Wildwood Sanatorium.
Nice.
So I'm super excited. And then wherever else we decide to go before that and after that. I think Russ is trying to get into Penhurst too. I'm not sure how that's all working.
Maybe. You never know.
Okay. See, those are like the places I haven't done quite yet. So I've done a lot. Once I got back into the paranormal, it was just all about Chicago, like Chicago. Did a little Milwaukee, some Rockford, but
Well, if you're into true crime, I'll have to introduce you to my dear friend Jeff Mudgett.
Oh, yes.
Who is a great grandson of H.H. Holmes.
Yep.
Okay, for sure. I was just at the Congress Plaza Hotel yesterday, where he allegedly would hang out in the lobby and stake his victims.
We've had him on our show before, and it was an amazing show.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, so much information, and I'm pretty sure he has something coming up that he's about to drop.
Yeah.
Is he knowledgeable then? Like,
very. He's written 2 books about it. Amazing. And the first book is what, called Bloodstains?
Yep.
Yeah. So
okay.
What's his name? To pick his brain.
Jeff Mudgett.
Okay. All right.
Because
I'll send you
I'm looking out for you, Jeff. I'd love to read those.
Holmes' name was actually Herman Webster Mudgett.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
makes sense.
And funny thing is, before I met Jeff, I had a past life regression thing, and I had a connection to Jeff, H.H. Holmes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See?
Now, Jenny, I need to find you somebody that can do a past life regression on me, because I always wanted to have one done, and I'd be very interested to see. Now, actually, that's a good question. That's a good segue. Paige, do you believe, and there are theories out there floating around, there are 2 theories. One, your scars and your birthmarks are your past life death wounds. 2, your fears are how you died in a previous life.
To be honest, I don't spend a whole lot of time trying to figure that stuff out.
You live in the present, not the past.
Kind of. Like, I know that it exists, and I feel so much energy around me, and I feel like I've lived probably a few lives before. But as far as that stuff, like, for me, I just don't put a whole lot of stock into it. I don't judge people who do, but it's just not something, like, I will never be able to figure that out. So I don't know. Like, that just isn't something that I've gotten into.
Yeah. Nick Simons, that is true. I've driven past it. It's in a creepy part of Chicago. Don't recommend going to it.
Right.
And getting out and walking around. If you drive past it, turn around and get back onto the highway.
I was just
typing. I haven't been either.
I was just typing in the chat room that it is correct. It is actually a U.S. post office right now, and there is actually still sealed chambers in the basement of the U.S. post office, but no one can gain access to it because it is actually technically a government building.
Yeah.
Right.
Zach Bagans, I guess.
Jeff went through the red tape and everything of it, and they still denied him out of it.
Yep. He was about to pay like $2 million to get in there and do something, and they denied
and all it
him.
was breaking down a wall and going into a room.
Right.
Like, Jeff Mudgett's been down there because he's
Jeff Mudgett.
related. Yeah, he's Jeff Mudgett. What do you expect?
All right, Jenny. So I see some graphics floating in the background back here. What do you got? What do you got up here?
Let's see. You can see me and Paige at Great Lakes in 2 weeks. I'm super excited.
And there's investigations.
Yes, I'm doing both nights investigations.
Oh, Sherry, give Sherry a big hug for me, please. I haven't seen her since, God, I don't remember the last time I saw her. She's a Massachusetts girl too.
It's only been like 3 weeks for me since I've seen her. But yeah,
I'm excited. I've met Shane and I've met Dave, and there's gonna be Diet there.
Will be there. Obviously. I will be there.
You're gonna be there. There's
Lomos. There's a huge
the whole list. It's so good.
I'm so excited for this event. I need to go.
It's gonna be one big rush the whole weekend. So if you're gonna go, definitely stop by and see us. buy some crystals, and then buy, oh, God,
Now, are you having a table set up just for your crystal shop, or are you having a table set up as well for Expedition Entity?
Yeah, so we just do a combination. So
Okay, so you got to split the table.
Yeah, you
Oh boy,
Kenny did
Nick Simons will be there too. We have to deal with
Jenny
Nick.
did that with me in Gettysburg. She had a table for herself, but then took half my table because we were right next to each other.
The guys are really great about it. Like Larry has gotten really good at selling crystals. In fact, like I think he works harder than I do, but he's starting to really get to know what the different crystals are. And then
Larry.
He's great. And then, like they go right along with their books too.
Yeah,
and they've gotten pretty good about their books. Larry and Dan are experts at the Black Hawk War, and I've kind of gone around with them and learned about the history, because you don't know much about it. You don't learn much about it here. So I'm happy we have teachers like them.
I'm the ignorant one selling crystals. I'll like have a box of crystals out and they pick it up. And I'm like, oh, does that feel good? Okay, great. $5.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the great thing is like I truly don't have to sell the crystals, right? Like
I do
sell for you. They sell themselves.
I firmly believe I am literally an hour and 15 minutes away from the mecca of the paranormal, which is Salem.
Yes.
And I tell everybody I take to Salem that they're like, oh, I want stones. Can you grab some for me? I'm like, no, I can't, because the stone chooses the person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I cannot touch your stone and be like, okay, yeah, this is good for you, because my intentions, whether it be physically or irrationally, go into that stone, and it could change that stone's energy to my intentions rather than yours.
So on that note, that's so awesome. I love how aware you are about all of this. You really do know a lot about crystals, and
I don't like to lead on to that because I don't want to be asked questions.
Yeah, I think I taught him that, so it's good.
That hey, we learn from each other, but that's one of the things. It's like I pick them out into it. Like I do hand pick out each crystal, and I do it intuitively. The ones that speak to me, I know are speaking for my customers in that kind of way. And then also I do charge them and clear their energy before sending them off home, because I'm with you. Like, I don't want to leave my energy on that either, Yeah.
Now there is one exception. I actually have picked out crystals for someone. And anybody out there listening can be pissed off at me. You guys can both be pissed off at me if you want. Doesn't matter. I did an energy reading on this said person. I absorbed some of their energy and kind of felt what their intentions were and what they needed the crystals for.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I took their energy and chose crystals with their intentions, not my own. I was like, it was honestly like I was completely like you see in the movies, people's eyes like white over.
Yep.
That was kind of like how it was. And next thing I knew, I was spending $40 on crystals for this person.
Well, and in a way, they might have been kind of, using you as a channel too. Don't you think? Like that could have been just, you're just the channel and you felt that energy. It sounds like you've got some intuitive abilities yourself and that come out.
Jenny's seen me channel before. I am an empath and I am a channeler. So,
there you go.
I mean, it's definitely something I don't promote myself as, because like, once again, I don't want that expected of me.
Right.
I am a day-by-day, true-to-core paranormal investigator. That's what I am. I do use my abilities behind the scenes, I guess you could say.
That's how I am too.
But that, like, I'm one of those, I always say, and Jenny's heard this multiple times from me, you are your own best tool.
Yep.
You are your own best piece of equipment. No one can tell you that turn in your stomach. No one's going to tell you that hair standing up on your arm, except yourself.
Right. I agree with you. And it is something that's like a muscle, right? Like it can be strengthened and lost and, atrophy or atrophy, however you say it. And I've been learning how to use mine over the last few years, and just in this last year or two, it's just gotten so strong that it's it's been really cool. But at the same time, like Jenny is saying, have you ever thought about Reiki? It's like now I almost want to harness it with a mentor in a
I
way.
want to do Reiki myself as well. And now that Jenny's a Reiki master, I kind of want to like learn from her a little bit on how to do it, because I've done energy work multiple times.
Yeah.
I've gotten amazing results, and that was with no training. It's kind of like I read a book and, you know, kind of talked to a couple people, and I was like, hey, am I doing this right? And it worked.
Yeah, right. But that's kind of how I am. Just as like trial and error. And yeah, sure enough, a lot of this is ringing true. But at the same time, like it does help to learn from those who, you know, that's the thing. Larry and Dan did ask me, they're like, you know, how's that going to work with the investigation? You know, and that's not really why they brought me on. And for me, it's like so easy to turn off at the same time. Or, you know, like there's also a big difference between hearing a noise and getting evidence than like the feelings that I feel. And what I do in my spare time, if you follow my account, I'll go ahead and plug it now, at History of Haunts Hotels on Instagram, is like more when I'm going off personally. It's like I go and I feel the energy of different places. I know Diet, I want to take some of her classes. And I might. But yeah, so to me, it's more like when I want to feel that energy and tap into it, I can. But like when I'm out to go get evidence, it's like sometimes I'm the biggest skeptic. It's like I can turn it off and be like the biggest skeptic too at the same time.
Now here's a great segue into this then.
Oh boy.
So would you like to go into a location completely blind, knowing none of the history, and just feel it out? Or do you want to know where the quote unquote hot spots are and the history behind those hot spots?
Good question. So I'm going to be doing a lot of this where, and actually that's something that we might actually need to discuss a little bit more, but we talked a little bit. I like to just have a general idea normally when I go on to locations on my own, what the history is. Now with filming, it might be a little bit different. It might be comparing things toward the end, like, okay, we got some evidence here. Let's backtrack, look at the report, see if something occurred here.
Can you correlate between the two? Yeah.
Can we find a correlation between the two? And we kind of did some of that with Diet, even where Diet, we went into a battleground and Diet was there with us. I'm not going to say too much. You know, and it's all about correlating the history with what you find. But like when I'm by myself, like intuitively, I like just to have, and like that's what I'm channeling. Like I like just to have a general idea of the history. And then it's fun for me later to go and read, like go down my rabbit holes, right? Like the Congress Plaza Hotel, I think, or God, now the Congress Plaza Hotel, I think, is like where the woman threw her kids off of the 12th floor. Probably might have been the Drake, but I'm pretty sure it was Congress onto Michigan Avenue. But like that floor freaked me out. And then I didn't read about that until later, you know, so it's just, but it'll be different.
Kid spirits always freak me out. Anything like that, like anything, like I'm a father, you know, Jenny's a mother. She sent me a couple years ago, Chris, put a shirt on. I know it's hot, so am I. But any kind of kid spirit, Jenny a couple years ago sent me an EVP from
Velisca. That was almost 13 years ago.
Yeah, from Velisca, and it absolutely had me in tears. Like it literally had me in tears because it literally was replaying what happened in that house straight on EVP. And they sent it to me to clean it up. And I had to listen to it over and over and over again. And I am a father to 2 little girls, and I can I can't even imagine. It just pulled on the heartstrings, and it just absolutely destroyed me.
100%. Well,
sounds like Larry wants me back for another episode too. So we'll see.
Larry, I'll come out.
I think in November when I taped with them or filmed with them, like I was telling them beforehand, like when I do my SS methods, I don't really pay attention to the spirit box. I more channel. And I use that source as a channeling. And I think I was telling him about it beforehand, and like, okay, yeah, whatever. And I think that night, Larry kind of was like, holy shit. Like, you're kind of like the real deal when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because I guess whatever I was picking up was dead on for Bradhead.
Wow.
And before that night, I really didn't know the history of Bradhead. I'd been there once before. It was during the Janesville Paracon the year before, that April before. And we had just kind of like all decided from the Paracon go to Bradhead, walk around. We had Rob Thompson, we had Natalie Jones, Patty, and everyone. They kind of just all went to Bradhead. Really didn't have the history and that. We just walked around. And then I went back in November with them, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the SS method, but my SS method is really different from like Amy and Adam's SS method on Kindred Spirits. Mine, I just use like the blackness and the spirit box to channel.
Yes.
I don't even listen to the box. I just go with what I get. And in the past, like, Russ hasn't even seen it in person yet, but like my facial will change, my voice will change, my everything changes with each spirit.
Okay, Larry, I'm just throwing this out there. I mean, if you're interested and it can be discussed, but we could always do a double Etsy's method, have a little bit of East Coast mixed with a little bit of Midwest, and see what happens.
Yeah, Larry found out that night that I can get really into it.
Jenny, you know me, and you've seen me actually go channel before.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you seen season 3, episode 1 of Bradhead?
Me?
Expedition Entity? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
You saw how me and Jenny got sick.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That was the Telly Award winner episode. Yep. It's so good. That's a good one. Yeah. And you definitely felt the energy for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Larry, I'll contact your people.
But yeah, I think we'll definitely be investigating together soon.
I know. We're going to be hanging out together for sure. And then hopefully investigating.
I do have a flight credit from Jenny, and she's been trying to figure out a date for me to come out. So, I mean.
Perfect. Come on
out. After the busy spooky season, things may free up a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. We've got, we're not filming for, we have para conferences like lined up for the next 2 months. So season 4 filming starting after that, but we'll be at, and then Fort Wayne did get canceled, but I'm excited for that to get rescheduled.
I still have to go to Fort Wayne that weekend because I have the Bell Mansion investigation. So
that's originally what I was. That's why I got the flight credit, because I was really supposed to come out with Jenny to Fort Wayne.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't because I started this job, and and now I guess it was just a blessing in disguise because it got canceled now.
Yep. So that, be on the lookout for that to be rescheduled, and then otherwise you can catch Expedition Entity and Seraphina Crystals at. Where are we this weekend, Larry? We're at Effingham, SoCon.
SoCon this weekend. Yep.
Yes. Jenny, are you going to be there?
We were supposed to, but then we had to cancel because the store that we had open, we usually had something going on the 3rd weekend of September, and we had booked SoCon before we did that. Gotcha. So, but now we don't have the store anymore, but we already booked the in-town event because the next 2 weekends were out of town. 3 weekends were out of town. Okay. So, but SoCon's a blast. I've been there 4 times now. And it's fun. It's amazing.
Oh, good.
Fans drive like 30, I think it's like 20, 30 minutes out of town and hit up Ashmore Estates.
Oh, my God.
Back to Robin Terry. He's amazing. I love that location. I want to go back when it's not freaking June and 95 degrees, because the first 2 floors are nice and cool. The 3rd floor will roast you.
Yes. Yeah.
It was crazy, but the third floor was the most active for me because I got rushed upon by on both sides of the hall.
Oh
From
yeah,
behind me and in front of me, I felt like some two spirits were running at me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And then we
Ooh,
did a whole destination fear at the time and went one by one into the building. That
fun,
was
fun.
yeah.
All right, Jenny. So you know this wouldn't be an episode of Unturned Pages if
Oh boy.
we did not part with these two questions.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to put you on your toes right now.
Okay.
Which one should I lead off with? Location or people?
Location.
Okay. If you had 5 places to go as a dream investigation, no expenses to you, anywhere in the world, where would it be? 5 locations.
5 locations?
5 locations.
Oh man. Well, Gettysburg for sure is on there. Stanley Hotel just because I have to. And I've got to go to Waverly, Penhurst.
Bravely. Oh my god.
I've been to Waverly 3 times.
I mean, and then like I've got to go abroad, but I'm drawing a blank on. I mean, there's so many. Take me to any castle.
I have a love-hate relationship with Waverly. Let's just say that.
Really?
I had my first psychic attack at Waverly.
Oh.
Because I had just opened up and I didn't know how to shut myself down. Let's just say that was not the place to do that.
That can be kind of traumatic.
Yes. It's like I want to go back, but I don't want to go back. But I want to go back, but I don't want to go back.
Right.
Just like Ballista.
With me with Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I did not like Bobby Mackey's. Bobby Mackey's. Ugh. Okay.
All right. So the second question here. Now this one's gonna pull on the good old brain synapses here a little bit. So you get to build your paranormal dream team.
You cannot include Larry. Can I include Dan?
Of 5 people.
Okay.
So it'll be 6 total, including yourself. They can be fact or fictional, living or dead. Who would your dream team be? And couples like Ed and Lorraine Warren would be bulked into one choice.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Let's see. My parent, and I can't say Larry and Dan.
You know what? I'll give you. You can choose Expedition Entity and as one entity. No pun intended.
Well, yes, obviously. They're my crew. They're my tribe. She didn't. Sierra, I was going to say, okay, Sierra's coming.
That's cheating, Sierra. Calm down.
Totally. Sierra, you know, I'm so new to the paranormal community. So like,
but you know history and you know movies and you know radio and you know things like that. I don't care if you pick Scooby-Doo and the gang.
Yeah.
Like
all right. So then we'll just cause I'm gonna have Johnny Cash there because I need him there because he's my man. And then I'm gonna
better than sitting in the dark and hearing some Folsom Prison Blues.
What'd you say?
I said nothing better than sitting there in dark and hearing Folsom Prison Blues. So I mean,
good. Right? Oh gosh. And he reminds me of my dad so much. And then I'm gonna have to have my best friend there, Expedition Entity. So I've got Johnny Cash, my best friend. I've got Expedition Entity. Me. Jenny, I haven't met Jenny. And then I have to bring Diet just because she's amazing. I'm going to plug Diet. She was so cool as a medium to come on. So I'm going to say Diet. And Kara for fun. Oh my gosh. I'm like, this is too hard. Now it's just getting too complicated.
See, I didn't say that it was going to be an easy question.
These
are ones that are meant to like make you think.
Right. Because then I kind of also want like,
because now you said your answers
from like the 1600s. I want to go back to like the 1300s and talk with them about how they used to ghost hunt, you know?
We've had people say Nikola Tesla. We've had people say Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
We've had people say Sam and Dean Winchester. Like we've had it all over. I had somebody say Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart for humor, I think so.
Can you imagine him running down a long dark hallway at like 5'4", like just hightailing it out of a room?
This high pitched
voice. Great.
Yeah. I feel like I'd also need Nick there. Nick, if you're still on, I just need Nick for like big protection. Although Larry and Dan are pretty big too.
And the laughs.
I think everyone needs that foreboding figure. Like,
yeah.
Anybody can puff out their chest, but if you walk up and you're 6'7" and 250 pounds, you're kind of like, I'm a good. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, shit.
All right, Paige, so go ahead and plug yourself. Where can they find you? What you have coming up? I know we saw the Paracon coming up here soon. Where can they find your shop? If you do podcasts, where can they find you on Facebook? 2 minutes, self-promotion. Go for it.
Plug away. So I am on Facebook as Paige Dalton. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok as @the Crystals. My Etsy shop is just coming along. You can check it out, but it's still in baby form. So it is Seraphina Crystals. And I think that's it. And then, of course, Expedition Entity. So hit up Expedition Entity on Facebook. And then also on Instagram, you're going to also want to check out Ghost Hunter Larry Eisler, Ghost Hunter Dan Norvell, Sierra Pettit, Steve Wren, my Expedition Entity tribe, and then check them out on Paraflix. So you can check out Paraflix, get their app. You can stream them anywhere that you have a smart device. Super duper easy. Expedition Entity, and you'll catch me on season 4. But the first 3 are amazing. So check those out too. You can check Jenny out on season 3.
So season 3, episode 1, and then the special one that they had.
I see her enough. I see her enough on my computer screen. I don't need to watch her on my TV.
Right. Yay! Okay.
But yeah,
thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. I know it was short notice, and I'm so glad you filled in. And you've been an amazing guest, and we can't thank you enough.
Well, we're gonna meet soon in person, right?
Yeah.
All right, at Gettysburg, or you come out here. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Come out here.
If Jenny has anything to say about it, I would have been out there like yesterday. So.
Well, we'll be meeting sooner rather than later, I'm sure. And Jenny, I'll see you in a couple
wait.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second here. We will do this real quick. Because
what is he about?
Because Larry said something in here. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a little.
Oh my God!
Hang on, he's gonna. He needs my big crystal too.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, Larry, we got the selfie. We will post it.
Yeah, you guys are fun. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, adios.
Bye.
Thank you.
So I wanted to quickly share this on. It's gonna be a Facebook post. Sorry, I'm sharing my screen because I don't have all the info. But December 9th. At Old South Pittsburgh is a fundraiser for Bob Klass, his fight against cancer. Guests who will be there include Brian Roy, Rochelle Stratton, Shane Pittman, Josh Purvis, Richard Estep, Brandon and Mustafa, George and Kara Swaplin, JB Colts, Tim Kramer, Ronnie D in the South at Old South Pittsburgh will be there on December 9th. I will be there. Me and my mom will be going. So if you are down in Tennessee, come on out. The tickets are cheap. It's only... Russ, stop it. I hate you. I fucking hate you. But tickets are like $85 for the whole day. It's amazing. You can investigate with everyone. Russ... I hate Pennywise. Stop it. Hey, I like Sierra. Stop it. I hate clowns.
Well, the clowns don't like you either.
No. But if
All right. We
anyone
also
found
want to
it
thank our
go
we
check
also
it
want
out.
to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
Actually, Paige from Expedition Entity for one of our sponsors. We also have Warner Paranormal Preservation Society, Enchanted Awakenings, Get Haunted, which have been a godsend to us since we started this. Unbelievable. Can't wait for it. And Jenny and I are really going to start nailing down the start of some giveaways, some really great giveaways. So maybe next week we'll drop a little hint. So make sure you follow Unturned Pages, Get Haunted, and everything else, and see how you can score some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. I've been working a lot, and maybe I'll talk to Paige in a couple weeks and see if she wants to do a giveaway or something. We'll figure it out. But yeah, Larry now wants to go do an investigation at a haunted clown hotel, and I said I was down for it.
I'll join you, Larry,
And he'll come as Pennywise.
because we all
He
float.
would fit in right with the hotel.
I may just stay there.
Oh, I guess Broadhead now has a room with the padded room. That's what I was thinking. Broadhead now has a padded room with a
Straight jacket.
straight jacket. Yes.
Good job. Good job with words.
Yep, I can't think of words today. Shut up, Russ. Shut up. I love you, but I hate you so much.
And Sierra, I'm sorry. I'm just a clown by nature. It happens. And if people don't like it, I may not be your cup of tea, but I'm a Red Bull with a chaser. So
So next week we have Candy from Rock Island YMCA. She'll be coming on talking about the Paracon, the history of the Rock Island YMCA, which I have an investigation out there next year to figure out. Maybe I'll bring Russ out for it. Maybe if he stops being fucking Pennywise, he'll come out and investigate.
I'm working 65 hours a week.
But everyone,
how am I supposed to come out?
We will see you next week, same time, same place. If you missed any previous episodes, go check on Spotify. Love it, follow it, share with friends who love podcasts. And
Unturned Pages, love it, like it, live it.
Yes, and we have merchandise too. Check our Facebook page for the link for that. So,
all right, Jenny, can't wait again. Thank you for bearing with me. I kind of caught my second wind about 15 minutes into it. So,
of course you did.
Great show as always. Can't wait for next week. And everybody out there, thank you so much for supporting us. Get Haunted, Warner Paranormal, Expedition Entity, Enchanted Awakenings. Again, catch us on iHeart, Facebook Live, Spotify. You can find us everywhere. And, we wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So please keep tuning in every week. And trust me, we have some good things coming up here very soon. So
awesome.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.